the Lakers just made a move that could change everything. With the addition of Mark Williams, the team now has a new cornerstone in the paint, and James Worthy wasted no time reacting to this major lineup change against the Warriors. Can this new formation give the Lakers the balance they need to compete at the highest level? We're going to analyze Worthy's reaction, understand the impact of this decision, and discuss what it means for the rest of the season. So hit that like button, subscribe, and let's get into the video.
On TNT at 7 o'clock, it's the Lakers and Warriors. The Lakers have already won both meetings this season. So we say hello and welcome to Access Sportsnet Lakers, brought to you by your Southern California Toyota dealers. I'm Allie Clifton, joined by the Hall of Famer, big game James Worthy, and the legend himself, Christopher McGee. As an analyst, did we all just become best friends?
This is weird in this chair, but here's a little fact for you. When this network first started, and James will back me up on this, this is where the host sat.
Oh.
So you had to keep doing this.
Yeah, it was really odd. It was like he was in a tennis match.
Yeah. But this...
So you're actually comfortable there, and you should be there more
exciting.
often, is what you're saying.
It's a little bit different, but let's go. And your two best friends are here from growing up.
They are, Natasha and Emily.
Kindergarten.
Kindergarten.
How many friends do you know from kindergarten?
Not a lot. And they're like still
Maybe
like
two.
her.
Do they want to come in and watch you host and be an analyst? That's why mine are the best.
Yes,
My friends are better than yours.
best.
Just kidding.
Bicycle friends.
Bicycle friends. We start with the news that was reported across the league. In case you missed it, there was another trade. Of course, this one, the Lakers receive Mark Williams, and then the Hornets received Dalton Connect, Cam Reddish, a 2030 first-round swap, and a 2031 first-round pick, reportedly unprotected. Oh, by the way, nothing yet official. Still waiting on confirmation on this, but
I think they have so many trades. It's going to take
Is that
another
what
couple
happened?
days. Yeah.
Is that what happened? Your initial reaction. Big Game, we'll start with you, to the news of Mark Williams in particular.
Well, my initial reaction was that he went to Duke. Once I got over that, I really liked this kid. I liked him when he was at Duke. You know, he has a body like Ayton, would you say? Something like that, but he's a little more rugged. He can score. I think he was averaging like 16 points in Charlotte, or 1.5 or 2 block shots, and you know he can score. He has some strength to his game. The perfect body, very rugged underneath. I think he can shoot a little bit too, but I like the fact that we needed this. I love that pick and roll. He'll get a lot of that action here. We needed a big. He's young. You know he can defend at the rim. So I think this was another pick. Sometimes I wonder if I'm, working for the same team. It's been so many changes.
That's actually very true.
I mean, my first reaction was, whatever, it's cool. Are you kidding me? It was holy, you know what?
Yeah.
The Lakers are all in.
Yeah.
We're going for the win now. That's what this move told me. The Lakers got their center, who happens to be 7'2" in shoes, the tallest standing reach in the league. How about that, Wemby? In big game, he's barely 23 years old. He's an incredible athlete. He's got tremendous bounce. He's a top 10 offensive rebounder in the league. He's a double-double every night when he plays. He had a 38-9 game recently, Allie. And listen, I love Dalton Connect. And I know they gave up a lot to get this young man. And yeah, there are always going to be concerns because of the injuries, because he's had them the first 3 years, just like a lot of bigs have. But I'm going to focus on the positive. Did you see what Lively and Gafford did with Luka? He's going to be the 8 dunks a game. So let's focus on that. I'm super excited. I think it was a great move.
I agree. You mentioned the reach, and then you say Wemby. That's because Mark Williams is a 9'9" wingspan. Wemby, 9'7". Marinate on that, as Geeter likes to say. Having said that, you kind of touched on it. They're all in now, right? The Lakers are 10 games over 500. And so when you see the way this roster shaped out, obviously, we know who they lost. Anthony Davis, Max Christie, Dalton Connect, to name a few of the guys. How do you feel about how the roster is shaping up?
Well, they lost some of my favorites. Max in particular, Dalton, I loved him. I couldn't believe we got him in the draft. AD, of course, but we got in return was some solid players that can play now. And you're talking about a 25-year-old in the future, and now Mark, a 23-year-old, Geeter.
Barely 20.
I would have to say that, I miss my guys. But, the Lakers are on their way back to getting in a situation where they can win now, and their future looks really bright. It's a business. You hate to see players moved, but when it happens and you get something in return, you have to move on. And I like what we have.
Ceiling look different?
That's a great question. I've spent the last couple of days talking about how much I love the guys that they let go because James just hit it on the head. It's part of the business. I don't want to put a ceiling on this team because right now, when I look at what the Lakers have done over the last couple of months, they're a team that's only lost 8 games since December 6th. They're a team that's been, as you always say, trending up tremendously, right? But now I look at them and I say, you're only 3 games out of the 2 seed. My goal, my ceiling is to win a championship. My goal is to get a 2, 3, or a 4 seed so you get home court at least in that first round. And now you are a title contender team. If you're a team that can contend in the West, that means you have a chance at an NBA championship, and not every team can say that. The Lakers are now one of those teams, so I don't want to put a ceiling on them.
They've been disrupted.
Yes.
You know, you're talking about a team that was 5-1 on the road trip, playing really good, a big game in New York. That chemistry was so close and so tight. Now a few of them are gone. So now you got to incorporate. And I don't think they're going to miss too much of a beat, but it will take some time to get incorporate. You know, I don't know. Luka, he's, you know, I think he'll fit in. Mark, he's a guy that, you know, they'll have to fit in, get used to the locker room. I'm not talking about a big disruption, but they will have to, you know, get used to one another, the tendencies, things like that. I don't think it'll take them much time, but that's
patient.
what you have to do
100%.
when you bring in new people and you lose Max, you know, the head of the snake on your defense. You lose Connect, who was starting to, you know, shoot. The chemistry was good. They were starting to understand each other. A couple of practices, you know, maybe a game or two, and you know, hopefully they won't lose where they are in the seeding.
Certainly all starts with a mindset, too. And JJ said the other night, this was even before they picked up Mark Williams, that it's really hard to judge an in-season trade that season. Typically, you have to wait till the next season. However, this squad, inside that locker room, coaches and players alike, are committed to maximizing the now. And then they get a guy like Mark Williams. So I come to you on this question. From the game the other night versus the Clippers. Crazy to think that the Lakers would have beat down on the Celtics and the Clippers in just a matter of weeks. You have to be a happy man. What'd you like most?
I have to tell you, what I liked most, I thought the energy was off the charts. And I know we use that word in sports a lot, but not just on the offensive end. The way they were playing defense, I thought in the first half, I even texted you because you were at the Intuit Dome, I thought LeBron was in a Heat jersey. He was playing that level of defense, the way they were closing out, the way they were rotating, the way the ball was moving offensively. To me, that dominant performance, put it in the category as one of the best wins of the year. But I think big game, what I was most impressed with was there was sadness with that team. You lost guys that you considered family, that you're used to seeing every single day, but they came out all business. That
Absolutely.
to me was so impressive. And they took it to them.
And they did it in New York.
Yeah.
They did it in New York as well. You know, they got Boston, they got the Clippers, and then they went to New York, a really good team, took Bronson right out of his game, and that defense, that small ball defense was just swarming all over the place. And, you know, that's what I think that they are right now. They need a big, but they can play, you know, that small ball with Rui, and Vando's, you know, pretty good action guy. So it's pretty obvious they got options.
Versatility.
Which is you, my friend, doing it right now.
Let's go.
Right, didn't he?
Let's go.
Hey, my friend should come out more often.
Woo.
Let's get you live to Crypto.com. Arena Lakers reporter.
Shout out to your friends.
Mike Trudell, first on the floor, as always. Hey, Mike.
Hey, Mike.
Hey guys, well, this is definitely the latest that you have ever gotten to me to start the show. And I have to say, I think it's a good thing. Okay, James just talked about small ball. Maybe this is our Spectrum Studio small ball look where Geeter, the analyst, is truly unleashed to do what he was put on this earth to do. Give takes, have thoughts, give analysis. Whenever I come into the studio and he's hosting, I try to ask him his opinion because I know he wants to give it. I know it's in there. So I just hope we see this look more often.
You know what we call that, Mike? We call that KYP.
He absolutely knows me. He absolutely knows me. A lot of years.
Know your
I'm saying, it
personnel.
took you long enough. But let's get more takes from Geeter. That's what we all want. It's what the people want. Alas, today, guys, my job will be to throw to the sound of J.J. Redick, and I was asking him about the defense, which for the Lakers has been great for not just the last 10 games. J.J. Redick made sure to mention the last 11. I'm cherry picking a little bit to get that extra game in, and of course, Anthony Davis has not been on the court for the last 3 defensively, and yet the Lakers have still found a way to play some really good team defense. So I asked him why. What did he think stands out about it? Here's JJ.
You certainly have to give a lot of credit to my coaching staff and our game planning, and then guys executing a game plan. But you can have a great game plan, you can have a bad game plan. None of that matters if the guys aren't connected, playing hard, communicating, all of those things, being very intentional about what we're willing to live with. And I think the guys, have been fantastic. And LeBron, Doe, Gabe, Vando, of course, having him back. It's just, everybody's had a high-level impact on that. And by the way, I'm not trying to give myself credit at all. What I'm saying is for a defense to be connected and a defense to be good, the defense has to have connectivity between the players and the coaching staff. And that's what our group has right now. We could have had a different game plan. I think we still would have probably executed at a high level. That's why I have a lot of confidence in this group. I mentioned LeBron's leadership the other day. He's been fantastic. And then just you start going down the line, and like Jackson, starting games, coming out early, us going to small ball, us executing whatever we tried to do there, the fight that Doe and Vando and LeBron have had, and then Jackson coming back in, and everybody's just doing their job at a very high level.
JJ, we last spoke to you before Luka participated in the Stay Ready game. How did that go? How did he look? And how are things trending with the possibility of Saturday?
It went well. I think probably more likely Monday. Again, no commitment made on anything, but probably trending more towards Monday. No setbacks. He looked good yesterday. Got another workout in today, got a lift in today. So all is well, all is positive. And hopefully we get the word at some point in the next few days that he is going to play. We all want to see him in a Laker uniform.
All right, guys, there's J.J. Redick. Now, Allie, I would just usually throw this back to you, but really I just want more Geeter takes. That's what I'm here for.
Mike Trudell, I got another one for you. Q-Dog's working out Steph over there. When he's done, say hi from your boy Geeter. Thank you. Bruce Frazier right behind you. Most interesting man in the gym.
Got you.
Trudell, stop putting a quarter in Geeter. We got to go to break.
There it is. Okay, I'm on it.
Plenty more
Thanks, Mike.
ahead. Thanks so much, Trudell, here on Access Sportsnet Lakers. You may have noticed JJ was wearing a Pally Strong sweatshirt. Steve Kerr has invited some youngsters from his alma mater to the game tonight. JJ said he's happy to support the community.
Mark Williams' arrival to the Lakers and the change in the starting lineup against the Warriors aren't just tactical moves in a season full of challenges. They represent a significant shift in the team's mentality and a crucial strategic adjustment for the playoffs. By doing this, the Lakers aren't just addressing a specific problem, but trying to transform their identity to better align with their long-term goals, winning another championship. James Worthy brought up some crucial points in his analysis, and it's interesting to observe how these moves fit into a broader vision for the season. The Lakers, as we know, have one of the most talented rosters in the league, but they've also faced ups and downs in terms of consistency. Anthony Davis' presence has been fundamental to the defense, but as talented as he is, Davis can't carry the weight of the paint alone, and that's exactly what the Lakers understood when they brought in Mark Williams. The center has everything to help alleviate AD's defensive load, leaving him freer to focus on his offensive side. Throughout the season, we've seen Davis overburdened, especially when the Lakers face teams with strong inside attackers, which put absurd pressure on him. The arrival of Williams not only promises to improve the defense, but could also be a decisive factor in game moments where physical presence in the paint is essential. This change in the starting lineup represents a well-calculated move, but it could also bring up some questions at first. Mark Williams is a promising player, but he's very young, and compared to veterans like LeBron James and Anthony Davis, he may need time to adapt to the pressure of playing alongside these superstars. One of the questions that arises with this substitution is how he will react to the Lakers' style of play, especially when they face teams that play at high speed, like the Warriors. Williams may be a good defender, but will he be able to keep up with the quick movement and spacing of the court required by Darvin Ham's tactics? This leads us to another important consideration: the need for the Lakers to adapt their offensive scheme to maximize their players' strengths. If Mark Williams is a starter, he will likely occupy a central position in the paint, which may affect court spacing, especially in fast break situations and long-range shots. LeBron James, who is known for his playmaking ability, will need to adjust his approach and use more quick passes to ensure that Williams doesn't overload the offensive game. In addition, Williams' presence may force the Lakers to make a more physical move on offense, with more plays in the paint and less focus on outside shots, which could change the team's dynamic. Still, it should be considered that Mark Williams' impact goes beyond individual statistics. He brings a paint presence that the Lakers were missing, especially against teams like the Warriors, who exploit defensive flaws to the fullest. Williams has a good ability to rebound and intimidate at the rim, and if he can combine these skills with Anthony Davis' defense, we have a defensive force combination that could be the key to stopping teams like Golden State, who thrive on attacking their opponents' weak points. The most interesting thing about this move is the psychological effect it can have on the roster. James Worthy highlighted this in his analysis, saying that a change like this signals that no one has a guaranteed spot on the team, which can serve as motivation for other players who weren't performing as well. In the case of the Lakers, where the pressure for results is enormous, a change in the starting lineup can create a more competitive environment within the roster. Players will realize that, in order to play, they need to constantly challenge themselves and improve. However, this can also create extra pressure on Mark Williams, who is new to the team and doesn't have the experience of the other players to deal with the expectation of winning at all costs. This change in the starting lineup in terms of internal motivation also has a psychological side that the Lakers need to consider. The roster, with figures like LeBron James, who is the leader of the team, needs to adjust to this change with as much unity as possible. The team's chemistry will be tested, and players like Austin Reeves and D'Angelo Russell will need to evolve even further to find their rhythm alongside Williams and, at the same time, maintain chemistry with LeBron and Davis. Team cohesion, in addition to defensive strength, will be one of the biggest challenges for the Lakers in the coming games. If they don't adapt quickly to these changes, the pressure will only increase, and this could affect collective performance. Talking about James Worthy's contribution in his analysis is fundamental here, because he touches on something very relevant: the potential for growth and adaptation of the team. The Lakers are constantly being challenged to make adjustments in their quest for the title. On the one hand, you have LeBron James, who can always be the anchor of any winning strategy. On the other hand, you have Anthony Davis, who still needs more robust support in the paint to shine on the defensive stage. Williams comes in as a player who has what it takes to provide that support, but how will he fit into Ham's system? This is the big question the Lakers will have to solve in the coming weeks. From a long-term perspective, this change may be the final adjustment the team needs to go further in the season. However, it is important to emphasize that the team's performance will depend on many factors, including how Williams develops throughout the season, how perimeter players such as Russell and Reeves respond to the new style of play, and how LeBron and Davis manage to combine their strengths with a newcomer. In high-pressure games, like the playoffs, the Lakers will need all of their players with the right mindset, and not just one or two superstars shining. Finally, this change in the Lakers represents more than just an attempt to find an immediate balance. It reflects the team's search for an adjustment that goes beyond individualities and focuses on building a cohesive team, capable of competing on equal terms with the NBA's biggest rivals. Darvin Ham's job in organizing and guiding his players will be tested, and he will have to deal with the ups and downs of this transition. For Lakers fans, these next games will be crucial to know if the team has really found the right formula or if more adjustments will be needed before a potential title run. Now it's up to you, NBA fans. What do you think of this change in the Lakers? Could the addition of Mark Williams be the key to a more solid defense and a more balanced attack? Has the team finally found the chemistry it needed to compete with the best? Don't forget to comment, share your opinion, and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss any news about the Lakers and other NBA teams. Let's keep an eye on the next games because this season promises. Until next time.